Hickok 45, and guess what? It's 357 SIG time again. It's not been 357 SIG time for quite a while, like about 7 years for me. And let's just shoot something, like that paper. The steel, see if I can pick him off. Aha! That's what you get, cowboy, for being in the way. You too, pro. He went over. All right. Boom. Yes, 357 SIG. The Glock 32 says right on it, Gen 4, 357. So yeah, it has been almost 7 years. I looked it up. I can't believe it's been that long. Yeah, I mean, really, what's wrong with me? This old gun does not get out of the safe much. The Talon grips are still in good shape. I just put them on there once, I'm sure. And it's just in, yes, still like new, almost. I don't shoot it enough. So thought we'd get it out, do a little chapter 2 with it, and kind of update you on the 357 SIG and on this firearm. And I remember back 7 years ago, this is not one we requested from buds. I was going to shoot a hog. I might want to use it. Or a gong. I bet there's one over there. Where is he? Let's hunt. Let's do some hunting. There he is. Yeah, gets there fast, doesn't it? Yeah, cinder block wall down there. What's left of it? Let's put a couple on that. Is that all my ammo? Oh man, here's another magazine. Let's take that wall again. How about that coffin over there? Boom, I'm out of ammo. Let's head on back to the table. And try not to keep you too long. So I wanted to get this out and shoot some more and kind of, I don't know, let you know what I know about the 357 SIG, at least. And that's not a lot, right? Before we go into it, let me remind you too, though, about atmex.com. Great precious metal dealer, and we appreciate their support. There in the link, there's the Hickok 45's favorite page. So anything you're interested in terms of gold, silver, coins, bullion, bars, just check them out. Appreciate their help too. 357 SIG. Oh boy. Well, you know, it's funny. I ran across this in a safe recently, and also a couple of different people last month of, hey, when are you going to get that out again? And it's been on my mind, and I ran across it and I got it out. And said, yeah, we do need to shoot that. I haven't shot in a while. And a lot of people love it, you know, carry it, you know. And so I started scrounging around for ammo, and then I thought, let me go online, because I've not even thought about the 357 SIG for a while, and see what people are saying or what the current status of it is, so I can glean anything from that crazy internet. Yeah, I mean, the first page of things I popped up on it were, is the 357 SIG dead? There were 2 different articles, you know, is it dead, you know? And of course, some of that's maybe clickbait, you know. I mean, nobody titles anything anymore like a reasonable title, like, what is the status or the current status of the 357 SIG? Or, you know, where is the 357 SIG today? You know, nobody does that anymore. They gotta say, is it dead? You know, does it suck or something? You know, it's just the way the world we live in these days. But still, I read some of those articles, and I went into some of the forums where people were discussing it, and I was surprised to learn that it has died some. It has experienced some death, or it's slowly. It's not as popular, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, as it was even a few years ago. And you know, and I'm not here to bash the 357 SIG, but it really does seem to be losing steam. Okay, and there's obvious reasons for that. It's you know, what are they? Well, you all know what they are. Again, I'm not here to bash it. I know that a lot of prestigious agencies carried it, and are still carrying it. And some people carry it that really know firearms. And it's an effective cartridge. It's a great defensive round, okay? It's a really, really hot 9mm when you get right down to it. And so since when is more velocity a negative thing in terms of being effective? Okay, so, so there's nothing really inherently, wrong with it as a defensive cartridge. In fact, it's supposed to be very effective. The Secret Service uses it. The Tennessee State Patrol I got to quit using present tense, because in these articles, it was funny as I was kind of looking through. I didn't do like 3 hours worth of research, but I just wanted to kind of catch up a little bit. And I Googled something about the agencies that use 357 SIG and that sort of thing. I wanted to remind myself who used. I knew the Secret Service did, and Tennessee State Patrol and some other agencies, the Sky Marshals, I think, and different things. And I ran across that list here and there. And then I ran across also some discussions and forums. And it sounds to me like I found an article that indicated, was it the Sky Marshals or I think it was the Secret Service, just fairly recent, that they're moving away from it to a 9mm. And then the same for the Sky Marshals. And I'm not even sure the Tennessee State Patrol is still carrying it, or if they're going away from it. Don't know. So anyway, it does appear that it's losing favor, at least in the numbers of people, numbers of agencies that are using it. Again, great cartridge. If you're carrying it, you're well armed. Okay? It's that simple. But it does seem to be losing favor in terms of the numbers of people and agencies using it. So that seems to be the status. Let me know what you know, what you think about it. Now, if it's your favorite cartridge of all time, you're a ballistics nerd like me. Not like me, I'm not really a ballistics nerd. Like 10 Outdoors 9, where you really get into it and you know it's the best cartridge out there. And you're real sensitive about anybody criticizing it. I don't mean to criticize it at all. It's a great round. Secret Service wouldn't have gone to it. They test things. Okay, so it's just the numbers of people using it. In that sense, maybe it is dying. Okay, so I got a regular round. I got some of the little hotter stuff here. Let's shoot a little bit. All right, let's put it in the holster. And now it does kick a little bit. It's a little jumpy. So let's pull. Oh, you know what? I'll save some of this hotter stuff for that pumpkin. I don't know if it'll make a difference, but we'll do that. I'll put that in next. So I was going to take some shots. Okay, is that fair? There's a red plate. What's he doing over here? All right, this is a little warmer. Let's hit that pumpkin. Let's put one of these on a gong. See how long it takes to get there. It was there, I think, as soon as I pulled the trigger. Oh boy. You're shooting something with it. It doesn't hurt or anything, but you're shooting a real bullet. It's trucking, okay? And that's what it was designed to be, kind of a 9mm with another 200 or 300 feet per second, is what it was. I think, 1,400, 1,600 feet per second. And obviously that's going to be effective. Like I'm missing a mag, guess I'm not. And before I forget it, since that first video, I did discover, and having it out shooting one time, I was getting some malfunctions, and I did research on that you need to have an upgraded follower, the same one I guess used, that's got a number 3 on it, in the 357 SIG magazines. Because as I did that first video, I was just convinced all you'd do is change out the barrel, and you got your 40 caliber magazines. They work just fine, and they generally do. They worked in that video, I think. But they're not as reliable as the 357 SIG magazines because they've got the proper follower. Just be aware of that if you got some, I guess, older 40 caliber mags. And some of you folks that this is your gun, your cartridge, enlighten us on that further maybe. But I definitely decided after that experience I had, I would never be carrying this without probably an actual 357 SIG mag, just to make sure I got the right stuff, the right equipment, okay? Because there's nothing more important than reliability. Having more feet per second is totally irrelevant if it's not reliable, and y'all know that, right? So anyway, I won't rehash everything, but this cartridge came out, I think, in '94. It was supposed to be a hopped up 9mm. In fact, Federal was, I think, Federal and SIG collaborated on it and developed it really. And great round. Some of the things that have made it less popular, the reason it hasn't caught on any bigger, and you can chime in on this, but the best of my evaluation is the expense of the ammo, because it runs 2 or 3 times, maybe more, as much as 9mm. Okay, so it's expensive. I don't like to reload, as I always say, necked cartridges, especially in a handgun. So reloading maybe not as enticing to a lot of people. What else? Maybe even just bullet technology over the last 15, 20 years. There's just not that much difference between a 9, a 40, a 45, and even that. Even when you add the velocity, because they've made such great strides with bullet technology in a 9mm bullet. It doesn't have to be going 1,600 feet per second to expand and do what it needs to do. You got all of that. You got a lot of recoil, okay? If you don't shoot much, and I think I said that in the first video, you probably don't want to start with this cartridge in this gun, because it's pretty frisky, okay? Like a 40, like a hot 40. And so you got that. And what else? You got the expense, availability, ammo, and all that kind of thing. So, but a good cartridge. I'll shoot a little bit more, and if I can think of any more lies, I'll make those up too. Yeah, it came along around '94, and it was adopted by a lot of agencies here and there. I say a lot, relatively speaking. And this is about old underwear. Let's try some of that. I know it's hot. Probably the hottest thing on the table. And I know Federal loads another hot round. They just don't have any. I just want to shoot some of this stuff up. It's getting so old. And it's the world of adoptions is a crazy thing. We tend to be impressed by whatever law enforcement adopts or the military, right? In today's world, that may not be as big a factor. There's so much testing that goes on. Plus, we're all a little smarter than we used to be, maybe. We're pretty savvy. We understand the politics. Just because, even the military, just because the military or a big police agency adopts something, we know that means it's probably decent, but it might not be the very best. It may not make sense for me, and it may not be something I should even look at. So, because you got the politics, you got some of the gun companies. I know Glock is very aggressive in their marketing, and they put guns in departments. I know with the Gap, I don't know any of this, I'm just talking off the top of my head, but there were several departments that even adopted the 45 Gap, and that's not been exactly a successful cartridge, but I think they probably essentially gave them the guns almost to get them to adopt it. And so you got all that kind of stuff going on. And then again, I'm not criticizing Glock if they did that. I mean, that's just business. It's the way it goes. Good cartridge, serve the purpose. And so you got that aggressive marketing and that kind of thing going on. So, but by and large, good cartridge. Now these are hot, and I'm not. Oh, gosh, I hate to take out a 2-liter when he's lying down, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. How about this guy? Woo. Yeah, blew him up. I'm going to see if I can hit that red plate over there. I heard it that time. Heard it that time. It gets there fast, whether it's a hit or a miss, doesn't it? Let's get something right here, like a hog. Now that's a handful if you don't shoot much. You know, people brag on these hot rounds, 357 SIG and 10 millimeter, these really, really hot rounds. But you need to be an experienced shooter to get the most out of them, okay? Or else you're just not gonna like it. See? Even those really knocked that hog around. Which reminds me of another factor. I can just feel the torquing and the power of those rounds. You know, I think they're hard on handguns too. You got a police agency, you know, money's always an issue, and they've got firearms, and the actual rounds are just wearing out the guns. Just a lot of issues like that, I guess, that we're looking at negatives is why it's not more successful than maybe it could have been. You know, it's just hard to get a shoehorn another pistol cartridge, especially, into the public consciousness and get it widespread. You know, the 45 ACP, the 9mm, a couple of the most popular rounds out there, been around for over 100 years. You know, so we're trying to reinvent the wheel in a lot of ways, and so many people are just pretty well satisfied with round wheels, you know, the way they are. And, you know, it doesn't have to be something really a lot different. But I don't know what else I can say about it. I just wanted to get it out and shoot it some more. I realized someone had pointed out we hadn't done a chapter 2, and it's been kind of fun to revisit it and do a little more research, see where it stands. You know, I never bought into it myself too much, not because it's not a good round. Again, I have some peculiarities, a lot of them, and one of them is muzzle blast, ear-splitting blast and sound from a defensive carry gun. I don't like porting, shooting stuff up into my face, or possibly shooting into my face, eyes. And as much as I love the 357 Magnum round, I'm probably not going to carry a hot 357 Magnum round in a revolver either for defense. I'll carry 38 plus P, you know, or a light Magnum maybe, and a small 357 revolver. Same thing. I'll take my chances with a couple hundred feet less per second and give up that ear-splitting, incredible blast. Same reason I don't have a 5.56 in my bedroom, you know. AR-15. I might have an AR, but it's going to be a different caliber, right? You know, I just take pride in my ears and my brain not being turned to jelly at the wrong time. Okay, so you may not agree with that, but that's just kind of me. And so I just prefer something a little slower, okay, like me. Okay, so anyway, the 357 SIG. These are nice guns, of course. It's a Glock 19 size, Glock 23, you know, same firearm, it's just in that different chambering. And I was telling John before the thing, I could just put in, I've got a 40 caliber barrel for it. You saw me in the first video switch them out, and it needs to be a 40 Smith & Wesson. But you know, where it's got 357 SIG on it, on the barrel, on the slide, I think I'm just going to leave it like it is. You know, if I get hit by a truck and, you know, in 10 years we forget about it, somebody picks up this firearm, oh, 357 SIG, cool. And they put a 357 SIG round in it, and it's got a 40 caliber barrel in it, and that wouldn't necessarily be good. You know, I'll just leave it at 357 SIG and just whether I shoot it or not. So I'm not agreeing with the death of the 357 SIG, but it does appear to be kind of waning the interest in it. So let us know what you think. Some of you folks that I've probably offended that are carrying one right now as we speak, got one on your hip, you love it. Let us know why you carry it, you know, and what you think, or if you have and you don't anymore, or if you're a police officer, Secret Service agent, and you have carried it and used it, trained with it a great deal, and then you've moved away from it. Do you miss it? Whatever. What were the negatives of it? What were the positives for you? So anyway, we appreciate any input there, because I ain't an expert in, I started to say everything, actually in much, am I? 357 SIG Chapter 2, Glock 32 Gen 4. It's been fun to get it out again and shoot it. Glad you came by. Life is good.
Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. While I've got you here, I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. Talon Grips makes grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. It just sticks right on there. You know, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles. So please check them out at talongungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And also Ballistol. Dad has been using Ballistol for many years. It's a cleaner and a lubricant, and it's non-toxic. It works really great, and we're happy to have them on board since it's been a part of our shooting endeavor for a very long time. So go to ballistol.com, talongungrips.com, and also while you're out there, I'm juggling all these things here. Also, while you're on the internet, please do check out our other social media like Hickok45 on Facebook. There's also Hickok45 on Twitter, The Real Hickok45 on Instagram. There's a John_Hickok45 on Instagram where I do some things. There's Hickok45.com. You can find us also on Gunstreamer. So check out all that stuff and then watch more videos.